What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Creative. Go ahead, say it with me. We are back at it again to do what? To create something great. Now, I'm not going to hold you. I'm super excited what I have planned for y'all today. We're going to be using Claude Code in order to create a sub agent that can run at the end of the day, right? In order for us to figure out which one of our bots are performing as well and how we can, if needed, help them, or if better, just pause them and create a new option algo bot that we have to be able to add to our fleet. So for those that haven't already, I need you to go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button. So if you're not familiar with a sub agent, right? So a sub agent is a feature that we can use within Claude Code. So sub agents are specialized AI agents that handle specific tasks. Now, the specific task that we're going to be giving this sub agent is that it's going to be running an AOD, or end of day bot loss diagnostics, right? So this is the stage in which we're going to be doing it. Stage one is going to take the fleet data. Stage two is going to be using a planning tool. Stage three, that's when we're actually going to have these sub agents run, right? And we're going to have one agent per bot. And the reason I want to do that is because sub agents allows us to be able to do a few things, right? They allow us to preserve the context by keeping the expiration and the implementation out of the main conversation, right? So it's another way for us to be able to context engineer and making sure that we're not bloating our context before we can ever get the most out of the session. It enforces constraints. We can reuse configurations, right? So that's going to be one of those things we're going to have here for our sub agent. We're going to have specialized behavior because this sub agent, all it's going to be doing, right, is going to be running a diagnostic to figure out, all right, which one of our bots aren't performing well. Here's going to be the output of the diagnostic, right? And it's going to rank which one based on severity levels, right? And then we're going to control costs, right? Because we're having our sub agents run inside of Claude Code. So let's go ahead and jump into our session. So I'm going to be running Claude Code with inside Cursor. Cursor is a code editor built on top of Visual Studios. So what I want to do is open up a project, and then once we're in that project, I need to go find the options algo baby folder. And here it is. So we're going to go ahead and open her up. Beautiful. So now what we need to do is come here. We're going to go ahead and open up a Claude Code session. All right, there we go. I'll just use Office 4.5 for this one. So we're in a new Claude Code session, and what you're seeing here is a few things, right? So this bottom right here is a way for us to be able to manage our context sessions, right? So we can know, all right, bet we're getting to the max, and we should be able to start a handoff, right? This right here is letting me know for the past 5 hours how the usage has been. Over the past 2 hours, right? It's down 21%, and past 5 hours, 19%, 7 days, right? In the past 6 days. And it's letting me know, even though I pay through this via the Claude API subscription, not API. I have a max plan, right? So I play via a subscription, but I still want to know on a daily, like, how much are we spending, right? So we can know, all right, what's a better way for us to be able to optimize our sessions. So I want to let y'all see a sub agent that I have right now. So this sub agents are going to live under this .claude files, right? So we have a current sub agent, and this sub agent is going to be our fleet code reviewer, right? So you are an elite code. You are an elite Python code reviewer specializing in 0DTE. 0DTE are going to be option contracts that expire the same day. These are the option algo bots that we have, right? So it makes sense for it to be specializing in 0DTE option algorithmic trading systems. You have a deep expertise in quantitative finance, risk management, and production trading bots, right? Your mission is to systematically review Python bot files for logic errors, risk issues, and anti-pattern violations that could cause financial losses or systems, right? So here's some of the things that it's looking for, right? Here's how it does its job. The persistent memory is right here. So whenever the fleet review agent actually does a review, right, it's actually going to keep a log of it so it can know, All right, bet this is something I fixed in ADX baby, right? There was a critical name error, right? There was something I fixed in Zapband baby, right? There was two critical position sizing errors and a realized skew error. So attribute errors, right? So this is the memory that it keeps, and then it also keeps a log of it as well per audit. So we're going to be creating a new sub agent such that it can be able to go and find out, all right, which of the bots aren't performing well. So we have our new Claude Code session up. I'm using the 4.5 Opus model. The reason I'm not using 4.7 is because number one, it just makes no sense right now. That's just overkill, and 4.5 will get the job done. And I still haven't figured out a way to like optimize my context window when using 4.7 or anything over 4.6 yet. So that's why I just stick to 4.5. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and drop in a session context such that it knows what we're trying to do. Go ahead and drop enter. Then what I just told is like, all right, bet. What I'm trying to do is create this sub agent. So you see how we just increased from 0 to 16, right? Damn near 4.7 would it be from like 0 to like 28. All right, fleet loss data structure. The JSON shows the 4 bots with a minus 56.7 total loss. Each bot record includes the trade level details, the timestamp, direction, prices, and exit reason. This is granularity, which enables meaningful diagnostics. Notice the exit reason field, stop loss, risk averse loss, time field, trailing stops. This is the why that the sub agent will analyze. When you're ready, we can create. All right, bet. So we have everything it needs in order to create the sub agent. Now what we're going to do is create the agent definition or walk through the data more. All right, bet. I'm ready. All right, let's go ahead and create the sub agent if needed. Because there's a handoff recent, and a handoff is just another one of these hooks that we created within Claude Code to make it a lot more efficient, right? So this is the handoff that I'm going to have it reference just in case it needs it, right? Yeah, this is the handoff. Matter of fact, I already gave it enough, so let's not pollute the context. All right, sub agent, let's get this done. See, I'm gonna, because I already also created a build plan. I'm also going to give it this diff if needed. Let's get this work completed, brother. All right, perfect. Now, so we're having Claude Code actually review this, bruv. All right, beautiful. So while Claude is doing that, I want to show y'all like manually what I would have to do, right? So let me just open up another terminal. Just give me 2 seconds while you do that. So like each of our bots has a don't be that guy. You're being that guy right now. Give me 1 second. Clear. Beautiful. So even each of our bots has a log, right? And in order for us to figure out, all right, what's going on and like what's causing this bot not to perform well, I'll have to go through their log and being able to determine this, right? So what I want to do is create this sub agent that can automate this process for us so we can get a little bit more structure as to, all right, which one of our bots to keep running, which one of our bots to stop, right? So here's just an example of their log. This is from this past Friday, and Friday was May the 1st, 2026. Right, this is the total P&L that we lost was $56, and this is from Retest Baby. This bot trades the S&P 500. That's the top 500 companies within the New York Stock Exchange. And if the name hasn't told you already, it's a retest, right? So it's waiting for the price to break out and then retest either the support or resistance levels. Once it does have that retest, then it takes a position, then it blasts off, right? So we can see here that, trades QQQ, the top 100 tech companies, right? So we see here there's a couple of positions that it took all losses. So I want to figure out why. Was this mainly a market regime shift or was it an error with a bot, right? Then we have bruhigotit. Same thing here. We're seeing a lot of risk averse time stops, another stop loss. And then we have bagsbaby stop loss. So this is what I'll have to do manually. So that's why I want to create this sub agent in order to do this for us. So we had Claude Code go ahead and create our bot diagnostic sub agent. So here it is. So you can see here it's the same thing, right? So we're going to write it in direct language, name the actor. We're going to make it where it talks, right? And it's not quote unquote AI speak. So we have a humanizer here, right? So that's what these rules are doing. This is the JSON format I'm expecting, right? And it's super simple, bruv. Model's going to be haiku. Let's see if it designates that model here. That's interesting. Yeah, model is sonnet. Monet is haiku. I'm all right with you using sonnet. I'm not going to hold you. Let me just put sonnet. I'm all right with it using sonnet, not haiku. All right. Diagnostic. Beautiful. So you see here, now we have our sub agent. Now it's going to be spawning 4 sub agents in parallel. Each one gets its own bot, right? So there's an error. What I want to do is exit. So I think I just had to restart it. Boom. Let's go back into that chat. It's not like, okay, beautiful. All right, try again. All right, the custom sub is in definition as a sub agent. These are built-in agents only. I'll spawn the sub agents embedding with the diagnostic. All right, here we go. Now the sub agent is running. So we have 4 parallel sub agents that are running, right? And each one of these sub agents are going to be running in its own context window, right? So when they're done, we're going to be having the JSON. You seeing here that these JSONs that is making. All right, agent, if I can find where your output is to, that'll be dopaito. Oh, it's an attempt. Okay. It's an attempt. So it's reviewing it, and then it's going to give it to the main agent, and the main agent is going to be Opus, right? So you're seeing here, each one of those gets its own. So let's look at this real quick. Come on, don't be that guy. All right. So QQQ peaks and valley. This is an ICC strategy. This is bagsbaby. The exit reason was a stop loss. Bagsbaby entered a QQQ call at $64 at 11:26 a.m. It hit the configured stop loss of 8% within minutes. The position lost 1165 on a single contract. The breach recovery system equals true, did not recover the price above the stop loss. The root cause is either the signal was a false breakout at an early morning peak that reversed sharply. 2, the premium at 64 was inadvertently overpriced relative to the relative move, or the ICC peaks and valley logic misidentified the support and resistance. Severity level 2. Here's a little bit more about the trade itself. Recommendation. This is a single trade loss at negative 17% ROI. Within the expected variance of 0 DTE calls, but review the ICC peaks and valleys signal quality on the QQQ test whether the daily peaks and valley identification is leading to early reversals. 2 is going to be the premium sees reasonable, but compare the option chain that filled the day to check if the bid-ask spreads were wide. And then 3, we're going to verify the breach system triggered and expected 2 strikes and recovery window. Okay. So I like this. I'm not going to hold you. So structured as a JSON, right? So the only thing, it saves it in a, I have to find that folder. I don't know why I can't find that folder. It's just supposed to be like here. I need to go save June sessions. Transcript. All right, beautiful. So context isolation in action. Each sub-agent received its bot's trades data. Bri got it. Never saw retest trades. I love it. This prevents cross-contamination of diagnosis and allow parallel execution without shared state. The filed system act as a coordination letter. Agent writes, then the main agent reads. Beautiful. So here's our diagnostic. Right, 3 out of 3 trades hit the stop loss. This is a systematic entry or the stop loss placement fair, both on calls and puts uniformly. Then we have Breaky Baby, the first hour trap, entered a call at 9:51, stopped out in minutes, put at 9:32, recovered half, but not enough. Block entries before 10 a.m. I don't know. Bruh, I got it. Rapid fire chasing, 3 entries in 24 minutes. Risk averse stop, time stop, and then stop loss. Check if anti-chasing is configured. And then we have bagsbaby. We already talked about that. So we have our 4 severity levels. The workflow is complete. 4 pillars demonstrate the planning, sub-agent, spawning, and then context isolation. Right, so we have our marching orders on what we need to do. So I'll go ahead and complete that offline, but I just wanted to show y'all the power of being able to have our sub agent do this for us, right? So it didn't pollute, or right, we started at 0, now we're at 23%, right? So you can see here that each one of these sub agents was able to do it within its own context window, giving the main agent what it needs. And now we have our marching orders on what needs to be done. So I appreciate y'all for stopping by. It is your boy Creative. I'll be back at it again with another episode.